It's 8 o'clock. Welcome to the deep end. I'm Alex Muller, and depending on who you ask, I'm either the Weatherspoon's bartender's favourite or least favourite person. And I'm joined this week by...
It's me, Finn Vaughan. I'm here on the deep end with Alex tonight. Very excited to be here and talk about some of the music I've been doing. I think that's what we're going to talk about a lot of.
Just general goings on, because you study music, right?
I do. I study music technology at Sussex. So.
Music technology. So, tell us a bit about that. What is that?
So it's quite a broad a broad subject in a sense. It's you've got sort of the music side, you've got the composition, the that sort of artistic area. Then you've got the more technical side, which is the recording, the production, the mixing, and all of that. Really, I mean, my modules this term are very, very broad. I mean, I've got creative coding as one of them.
Okay.
Which isn't even. Well, that's one of my optionals, but isn't even music related. Really, it doesn't have to be. So.
I mean, I know that a lot of modules at the uni, or no, a lot of courses at the uni, like for example, psychology, they make them learn how to do how to do data science.
Yes, yeah. I think we've got some people who do psychology in that module actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very broad.
So it's not just the technical aspects of music in terms of like the equipment and such. You're actually doing compositions yourself.
Yes, yeah. So especially last year there was more compositional modules, but there was a songwriting module this term. But yeah, no, I mean that's the area which I kind of enjoy as well as the creative side of things. I'm a sort of dance music producer.
What kind of genre is that, dance?
So it's I guess dance is quite broad, but I produce for sort of house music, a lot of UK garage, maybe a little bit of jungle here and there.
So that's all the type of stuff you would hear in like a nightclub or something.
Yeah, sort of at a rave, I'd say. Like clubs in Brighton, like Quarters, Patterns, and Concord too. I don't know if you've heard of any of them, but
I've heard of Patterns.
Yeah.
What was the first one you named?
The first one's Quarters. It used to be called the Arch.
I think I've heard the name Quarters. I've only ever been to Chalk though.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a clubbing. Oh, I've also been to the Mash Tun, and that sucks.
Oh yeah, Mash is always rammed.
And then I once waited in line for 20 minutes at the Green Door store.
Oh yeah.
And ended up just, instead of actually getting into the club, just spectating internet celebrities getting into fights with people.
Oh wow.
Because it seems like that is half the reason. Some of the people I know who go there, it seems like that's half the reason is, like e-celeb watching.
Yeah, I know, it is. I've only really had one experience with Green Door, and I can't say I enjoyed it too much, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, would you consider yourself much of a clubbing person then if you're making that type of music?
I would, yeah. Especially this kind of...
Yeah. Just lean into the mic.
I feel like it's got like a limiter on it.
I'm not sure. I'm just making sure because every once in a while when I listen back to an episode, it's like, oh crap, I should have at some point said.
Yeah. No, of course. So
I've got you cranked up to the maximum here.
I see. Where was I? I am a clubbing person. Yeah, especially raves. I mean, the music which I create, I love to hear in a club. Do you know what I mean? In terms of like your classic club music, like just the charts. I like to hear something which you can, dance to. I guess that's probably my, yeah.
Does that not contrast a bit though with that module you're doing on songwriting?
Yeah, in a way it does, because the songwriting one I can't make a house track as you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it needs to have lyrics and blah blah blah. So it was definitely different for me to do that. But quite fun as well.
What do you do on a songwriting module? Is that does that not at a certain point get into just the study of the English language?
Well, you low-key just, it's in the title really. You literally just make it's a I think it's minimum 3.5 minute song you have to make.
Oh.
So it can be for any genre. It just has to have lyrics and obviously vocals. So that was kind of, yeah.
And what do you get graded on, the quality of the song or the quality of the lyrics?
Sort of a mix of both. It's not really about there's no marking on the technical aspects. It's all like, it could be the worst recording you'd ever heard, but as long as it's a finished song that could be put out to release, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of speaking of putting stuff out for release, there's a lot of aspiring musicians
Yeah.
at this university. It feels like,
There
I
is,
guess,
there
by
is.
virtue of the fact that we do live in Brighton,
Yes.
which has a certain sort of creative reputation.
It does, yeah, it does. It's really good.
It feels like every third person I meet has a student band.
Yeah, no, it's very true.
Although
Very true.
probably not you if you're more of a DJ type, right?
No, I don't have really a band, but yeah, it's. I think I know. I agree with you, by the way. I like the third person you meet is a creative or in a band or a musician, but I know a lot of DJs in and around Brighton as well. I think it's really good for that kind of scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, especially I mean, I think a very high percentage. It's Brighton sort of has a bit of a reputation, at least as a student town.
Yeah.
And then if you're not a student, you're still sort of showing up because you're aware of the student town reputation and what that might do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
100%.
speaking of student bands, you're involved with what is it that this thing that you're involved with,
So
which I
I've-
keep seeing around. now?
Yeah, so I've kind of got two of these things, but the main one which I've been working a lot on recently is North South Collective, which is for those third persons you meet. It's kind of we've set it up. My friend Ollie is the president of it, so he set it up. He does A&R work for
What's
a bigger
A&R?
label. So it's like scouting artists, smaller artists, and signing them to a bigger label where they can release their music to Spotify and Apple Music, and they'll be promoted with that label. So the idea kind of was to set up that but as a student-run thing, and enable students to release their music.
So
Basically.
is that set up as a university society, or is that?
It's we initially did set it up as a society, but I'm pretty sure we are approved as a society. We didn't get any funding because YesU doesn't give out much funding for these kind of things.
I mean, yeah. Based on the conversations I've had with the people who run this radio station,
Yeah.
truth. I mean, the main thing that I think of is what was it, the time that I got locked out of the studio because
Yeah.
they couldn't find a new lock on the door, even though they'd asked for it a bunch.
Yeah.
But I guess, well, from my conversations with people in the student union, funding is, I mean, they had to shut down Northfield Bar,
yeah.
which was my 8th favourite bar of all time. Because, they just weren't making any money, and then found, if anything, the student union is sort of, based on the fact, some of the flyers I've seen in Falmer, where it says that like 40% of the Sussex sport funding comes from Prism.
I did see that. That is crazy.
It sort of feels like, that's really nice of Prism to be doing, but at the same time, one, not really running that sustainable of an organisation, because at a certain point it would seem that if let's say the owners of Prism fall on hard times, that seems like a very easy thing to cut.
Yeah, I mean that's the first thing I'd cut, but
Yeah, especially because it's not like you'd lose much goodwill from that.
no.
Because although I know that maybe that they might even improve funding though, considering the pressure they've got now from, it feels like other what would be, entertainment venues in Brighton are becoming more and more aware of the fact that sports teams and societies, or especially sports teams, are a big part of the money they make. Like, look at, are you familiar with Barbarous?
Yeah. Very familiar.
I've never been, but I know at least that they've been handing out special passes to sports captains.
Yeah. There's a black card. I've got a red card because I'm part of Sussex Snow, and right at the start of the year you can sort of go in and sign up and you get 25% off all drinks.
Shit.
Which is really good, but the black card is like one only for committee members on the sports societies, and that's 50% off.
Jeez.
Which is
Yeah, I mean that's a hell of an, because like if you're a newbie in a sports team and your captain or your committee leader says, "Hey, I think we should go to this place for our nights out now, our social weeks," you don't really have you just sort of have to do that.
yeah,
And,
you do.
and you're
Yeah.
paying the entry fee and you're paying for the drink prices no matter where you end up going, so it doesn't really matter to you, but to the committee leaders, who also, and some of whom have a sort of slight obligation, like the welfare people, like they, they're supposed to go out on these
Yeah.
nights. A hell of a money making opportunity. But anyway, back to the North South Collective.
Yes.
What is it? What is your? So is it a society? Well, I can Google this.
It is a society, but it's more of a like, we're not just Sussex based. We want to bring students from Brighton. I mean, we have students from Brighton. Water. I don't know if you heard of Waterbear. It's a music college in Brighton. And then
I'm barely familiar with Brighton Uni.
yeah, fair enough. But yeah, so that the idea is just to bring together all these musicians, and also not just musicians, creatives as well, like photographers, videographers, to help, you know, build up their own portfolios.
Yeah.
Work with artists, and yeah, it's just a win for everyone, really. And yeah, my role specifically is events. I ran the first event for North South Collective a few weeks ago, which was an open mic night in Falmer Bar.
What entails on? I'm only familiar with open mics in the comedy sense. What's an open mic for music?
So it's like you bring your guitar and a couple songs, and you perform.
How many people played Wonderwall?
We actually didn't have a Wonderwall, but I can imagine that's a popular one. But no, yeah, it was a really good night. We had about 14 musicians, 14 including groups as well. We had groups of people come and perform.
And have you already got any? Because is it kind of a label where you're signing people?
It is, yes. We haven't started releasing stuff yet, or properly like signing people. I mean, we started this. The whole idea started early November, before Christmas. So we're still kind of getting there. Over Christmas, everyone went back home, and it kind of just fizzled a little bit. We didn't, but now we've come back. We've done the first event. We've got a bunch of artists that we're looking at adding to our roster, and yeah, it's hopefully going to develop over the next few months.
So how frequently do you imagine you guys going to be doing events then? And what sort of stuff have you got in the pipeline?
Okay, well this is
sort of ideas do you have?
Some exclusive shit, right? Yeah. First off, so the open mic night was obviously our first event, and it was great. But we don't want to just stick to that sort of genre of music. So we're gonna have hopefully a DJ night coming up, which is gonna be out in the Waterbear venue. They've got kind of a little venue.
Waterbear, was that the college?
That's the college. Yeah, they've got a little venue on the seafront, sort of near where Quarters is. It's kind of in that little area. So we want to do a night there where we have DJs come, but they only play their own produced material, rather than playing like random tracks. They play their own music that they've made.
Oh yeah, I think there was a similar thing in back in, you might know more about this than me, but there was something back in, I think, October.
Yeah. Or
maybe this was last year, where one of the nightclubs had a competition for DJs, where they had to submit a 2-minute produced segment, and then the winner would get a set at the club. Are you thinking of something like that?
I didn't see that, but that's a cool idea. I think it's more of a what we want it to be is a kind of a Brighton showcase of electronic music, of these producers who work hard, and they go and they play these sets. They can't really play their own stuff because it's risky and you don't want to play that to a crowd. But making this event specifically for them to be able to play their own stuff, I think is great, because it'll give them a chance to play it to a sort of a bigger crowd.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the idea behind it. Yeah.
So what other people then do you have on your committee, and what are they doing?
We don't really have like finite roles, but we've got right now obviously we've got Ollie, who's the president. We've got another mate called Kenai, who's sort of leaning towards the more marketing side of things, and then
yeah, you guys do have some snazzy Instagram posts.
Yes, yeah, he's killing it. He's doing a great job, Kenai. And then we've also got Luca, who's big into the A&R stuff, and then we've got Dylan, Myra, and Ty, who all just kind of help out, just generally running the well, I say society, I don't know, we're not really a society, but
yeah. And I see on Tuesday you have a social coming up.
Yes, we do. I'm very excited about that. It's hopefully it's our first kind of thing where it's like, obviously we had the event where we had a lot of people who've been supporting us come down, and it was nice. But it wasn't really a chance for us to meet each other. It was a chance to watch the open mic. So this will be good.
So it was a bit more of an audition thing rather than a meet and
yeah, kind of. Yeah, agreed. So this will be nice for us to sort of meet everyone and start to set up some sort of connections between people.
Cool. And so that first event that you did, the open mic,
Yeah.
I know that you got a little bit of promo from the Sussex Student Union themselves.
We did. We got a little bit.
It was a co-run. Or where was it hosted?
Yes.
Was it hosted at the bar here?
It was in room 76, you know, the back bar.
The back part.
So yeah, we technically we co-ran it with Liberation Live. Who
were they?
Liberation Live are kind of like the SU's like events kind of team. Wow, that's a broad way of saying it, but they're a society which specialises in like live music events and run a lot of stuff on campus. So it was great when we reached out to them and they were like, yeah, we'll do a collaboration event with you, and they've obviously promoted it, which is great because they've got a significant following.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it just brought in a bit more of a crowd and made the event much better. So yeah, props to them.
Yeah, I'm looking at their social media,
Yeah.
Liberation Live. But yeah, slightly more sizable. But
Yeah.
decent impressions on social media numbers.
I think their first event was for I think it was in Northfield Bar actually. It was the Bands for Palestine thing.
Oh,
Last
I miss
year.
Northfield Bar. What a place!
Yeah, man.
What a place that was.
But yeah, that did really well, and then I think from there they've just done loads more stuff on campus, and it was great to have them sort of help out.
But aren't there sort of? I know that a lot of people are sort of dissatisfied with the general campus music experience. Are you familiar with the? I don't know. Considering you're more of a DJ, do you ever use the music rooms that they have on campus?
I do.
I've heard a lot. I've heard exclusively complaints about it.
Yeah, I mean, they're not ideal. I mean, it's kind of similar to what you said earlier. It's quite hot in a lot of these rooms, and there's no windows,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's still good. In terms of equipment, it's good. The studios are great, especially Studio 1. Studio 2 is a little bit difficult to use.
Is there any recording equipment? Because I mean, in here, I guess you could, if you were a DJ,
Yeah.
you could record in here because everything that goes out live is automatically recorded.
I think I didn't really realize the setup that you guys had going on here, so maybe I'm gonna have to get myself involved.
Yeah,
a
I mean,
little bit.
there's the schedule sort of. I think this term the schedule has thickened out a bit more
Thickened, okay.
because I get fleshed out more. I guess because I know last term. I guess the first term of uni, people aren't really sure what their schedule is going to be like. They don't really know what they really want to get up to.
Yeah.
Then second term, people have already seen they've firstly seen what other people have been up to in first term, and they've realised, you know what, I don't need to be doing this stuff and this stuff and this stuff. So I've got time, and I know more people
Yeah.
to potentially do something. Like a lot of the shows that
Especially freshers as well, I guess.
yeah, like a lot of the shows that we get. I say we as if I'm not just like a random guy. No, a lot of the shows. I say we as if I don't actively avoid participating in every event that they do. I show. Actually, these days I don't even show up once a week. I show up maybe 3 out of 4 weeks because
Okay.
sometimes I'll just do it over Discord in my own flat.
Yeah.
I show up once a week. I sit here for 1 hour and I ignore all of the pings in the Discord about social events. So, but yeah, I look at it, especially on a Saturday and Sunday, because I assume that most of the people, because I live on campus, which is a convenience that I get to just come down here.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't, suckers. and
Yeah,
and
I'm one of those suckers.
they have to commute,
Yeah.
taking, God forbid, a bus. I hate buses. Trains for life. But they seem to do their shows when I've seen the one time I interacted with anyone else who has a show.
Yeah.
They had they literally had 1 hour in between lectures, and they just come down here they do their. But I guess it's a nice way to kill time rather than
definitely
sitting in the library, because the library kind of sucks. It's not much of a library. It's more of a.
I can't say I've been more than 5 times in my whole time in Sussex.
I've been a couple times. Most of those times that I'm there, not great. One time I ended up having to flee because I accidentally set off the alarm in the disabled toilet.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
That's not what you want.
I stopped in the my friends were in the library. I stopped to visit. I'm like, oh, let me go use the bathroom. I go down. I can't find the only bathroom I can find is the disabled one.
Yeah.
And I, was looking for the flush. And I see to the left of the toilet, I see a large orange cord hanging from the ceiling.
No.
And I assumed, that looks like, because I imagine like someone whose mobility is hindered might not be able to, let's say, do the standard turn around, or if they're flushing up. Normally you flush after you stand up, but they can't just stand up and then turn around and do that.
No.
Or if they get, like for example, if they get back in their wheelchair, they're going to have to navigate all the way to the side of the toilet. But you can't really get to the side because you've got the whole bar. So I thought this orange cord right here,
it's got to be the one.
It's visible. It's perfectly placed. It makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And I pulled it.
Yeah.
And instead of hearing a sort of flowing water sound, I instead heard an alarm start to go off. Needless to say, I've only been back to the library once, and that was to spectate the protest that they had going on the other week.
They had a protest?
Yeah, they had some back at it was, how many weeks ago was it now? It was maybe 3 weeks ago, where you familiar with the Refreshers Fair?
I am, yes. Is this to do with the reform thing?
Yeah, they had some protest.
Okay,
well, they had protests scheduled. They didn't actually. They happened, but
Yeah.
I sort of showed up. I showed up. Like, let me spectate this. There's a nice sort of balcony area, or not, more of an indoor balcony inside the library, and I'm like, let me have a look.
Yeah.
I showed, and I'm German, so I showed up on time. As it turns out, the people organising the protest were not German.
So they were late.
They were late and they left early, which is a little bit. I'm from Hong Kong. I'm from born and raised in Hong Kong, so I can I'm familiar with how a protest should look. And that wasn't. I mean, considering the amount of people that they had a protest today in Brighton, apparently, the amount of people that they were able to get to those, it's impressive.
Yeah.
There's real potential. There's real potential for grassroots sort of activities in Brighton, which I think is the same sort of wave that you guys are trying to get on.
Definitely.
What sort of plans do you guys have? And I guess it's not your specific job because you're not the social media guy, but you're in events.
I definitely.
You're in events, so it's still relevant to you.
Yeah,
and what's your sort of plan to try and grow your presence in the Brighton music scene?
Well, I mean, initially these events. I mean, the last event was great. We brought so many more people who. And friends of mine as well,
how many people were you expecting to show up at the open mic night?
I'd say around 30 people, 30 people to 40 people, I'd say.
Exclusively musicians.
Wait, sorry, this is for the social, or
this is for the open mic night.
So what's already happened?
Yeah. How many before that happened? How many people were you expecting to show up?
I was expecting around probably 50 people, 60 people. We got more than that.
You got more than that. And then how many musicians were you expecting?
I was expecting probably 8 to 10. So 14 was great. I mean,
yeah, you've clearly got momentum already.
It was a big win on both sides. But yeah, kind of the plan is more of these kind of events, bringing in people from different areas,
So I guess not just people on your course, although I imagine
there is. I
imagine there's big interest there.
Of course, yeah. That's one of the best things about it. I'm really eager to get the course involved. There's so many talented musicians who I work closely with, and it's great. It's really good that they're getting involved. But also we want to go outside the course as well and find people who are here and maybe they do music as a side, as a hobby, and they want to do something more with it, and then we're here to sort of help them progress.
So what's your speaking of music as a hobby versus a more of a even more of a passion. What's your plan? Because you study music
it's a good
technology.
question.
Are you trying to become a musician yourself? Are you trying to be like one of the guys that works in a studio
Well,
that you always see in like one of those musician biopics,
yeah.
where the musicians are in the room, and then the guy who works at the studio is trying to find some way to tell them to hurry up, and he says something so innocuous, and they're like, "Ooh, that sounds good," and suddenly they play a song with that as the name.
Yeah.
What's your career what's your career plan then?
Yeah, no. Well, it's a difficult one. I'm in a weird place right now. I've got sort of the producing side of it, which I do my dance stuff, and I DJ from time to time. I've done some sets in the past at Black Lion, this pub in Brighton, and I got a chance. I've done a few live sets in Birmingham, which I'm not from Birmingham. I'm from near Birmingham.
It's a hell of a commute.
Yeah.
Plus, that's what, like, maybe. Actually, the furthest north I've been is Luton Airport Parkway train station.
Oh.
So I'm not too familiar with. Well, the furthest north I've been in the UK. Right? I've been to Iceland before, which certainly
Yeah,
beats
quite north.
which beats Luton Airport in more than just more than just latitude, right? But
yeah.
Yeah, well, how's that like getting to Birmingham? How do you end up doing it? What, you're from near Birmingham?
Yeah, so I'm from Warwick, which is kind of in between Birmingham and Coventry, the two nicest cities in the UK.
I've been to London. I've been to Brighton.
Yeah.
And I've been well, technically I've been to Worthing, but does that count? And I've been to Guildford.
I see.
So I can't really comment on. Oh, and technically I've been to. Oh no, I didn't get to Watford. I got off the train before then because I realised my mistake. But I mean, I can't really comment on which cities in the UK are good or not.
I can.
I always love how when I meet British people, they always like talk about it's 50-50. Either their town is the worst place in the country, which is why they've gotten out of there, or the place they're from is actually the best place in the country and they can't wait to go back.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, with me, it's like everyone I speak to, it's either you're from the worst place in the country, or you're from Devon, or you're from London.
Yeah, I mean, Devon's supposed to be quite idyllic, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
I mean, I've been a couple of times. It is really nice, to be fair, but it's just funny. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, how do you? So you've done what was it you said that you had done in Birmingham? Was it?
So I've done me and my good friend Aaron. We do sort of live electronic music, which is we kind of combine the DJ idea, and then we have drum pads and sort of MIDI keyboards where we play electronic stuff over the top of like a backing track on the decks. So we did one in a club in a place called Leamington Spa, which was on a rooftop, which was quite cool. And then the last one we did was over Christmas, and that was in Deadwax, Digbeth. And we did the same thing, and yeah, both times it was great. We had around 60 people both times. So yeah, no, that's what I do at home. And that's something I love doing, but it's something and it goes hand in hand with my my dance sort of music, which I produce. Like it's obviously I love it and it's great, and I'm working hard to put it out there, but it's not really a realistic. Well, maybe it is a realistic career goal, but it's not a let's just do this and let's be homeless.
At this point, DJing is just as realistic of a career goal as being an accountant. I mean, it's not looking good.
Yeah.
I think I saw there's 900,000 people graduate every year in the UK.
Yeah.
And right now, there are 1.2 million graduates already looking for a job. Plus, but then this year, only 90,000 new graduate positions were opened. So maybe you should be chasing that DJ dream.
Maybe I should just go straight to that one.
But if DJing isn't the path, what's the alternative?
So there's I'm really enjoying like doing this event stuff. I mean, for the two events we've done at home as well, like, we've basically planned and ran that ourselves. But now with North South, with this open mic thing, it was literally like, this is my event. Let's do it. Let's plan everything, including like. Stage plan, equipment list, booking everything, organising a set list, hiring photographers, well not hiring, but getting photographers, getting a videographer, recording the sound, getting a sound guy. You know, it's all these kind of things, and it's really satisfying. I found it really fun seeing it all come together, and then having the event, and it's a great feeling. So maybe that's something I'd like to go into in the future. And then also you've got the other side of it, which is the technical sort of music side of it. So I also do a bit of sound engineering and that sort of thing, which maybe I'd like to do a bit of live sound. I think that would be cool.
What's live sound?
So for gigs, like you need someone to sort out the levels of microphones to prevent feedback and all that sort of thing for live musicians. So I think maybe that's something I'd be interested in as well.
And then so I've gotten a bit confused here about one of the things you said about DJing.
Yeah.
What is it that you're doing when you're DJing? Are you going up with a pre-recorded thing, or are you mixing things live and doing those transitions?
I mean, I'm mixing things live. There's a kind of a thing which like a lot of popular DJs just play pre-recorded sets, which some do, some don't. It's kind of one of those things. Like you can just put your USB in, pop on the pre-recorded set, and just twiddle some knobs and look like you're doing something. But it's not really. That's not really the art of it, is it? Really? I mean, so yeah. When I go up, I'll plug in my USB. Like some people like to plan out an order. I don't even plan out an order. I just feel like I'll go up there. I've got all my tracks, all my playlists laid out, and then you kind of just have to. Well, I like to just play to the crowd. If a crowd's enjoying a certain vibe, then I'll continue that on with more tracks similar.
Yeah, I could certainly never be a DJ because I've got one playlist for music. It has. Firstly, I use YouTube Music, which I've heard is because I'm
the first person I know.
I only started using YouTube Music like last week. I used to just straight up use the YouTube app.
Oh, fair enough.
Because I'm on a family plan for something. I'm on a family plan for YouTube Premium.
I see.
Because I'm on that website too much.
Yeah.
But my playlist, here it is. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. My playlist has 525 tracks, it says, but I don't believe that. Yeah. I think it's higher. I think I've just gotten to the limit of how many it will display. So my playlist is, as any good playlist is called, it's just called Music.
I like that.
How long do you think my playlist is?
So you say it's 500 songs?
It should 525 tracks.
525 tracks. So you want the length of
the full playlist? How long do you think it is?
Well, I'd guess around 1,400 minutes.
Okay, let me pull up a calculator. 49. 20. No, that is 23 hours. You guessed. My playlist is 36 hours long.
Wow, so you must have some long tracks in there. You must have some.
I don't think so. Is the thing?
Like maybe you've got like a white noise.
Because I was specifically I had my AirPods in walking down. Subtle flex, but when I was walking down to the studio, I was listening to some of the music and I was looking at the track times.
Yeah.
And also lately I've been trying to I don't want to use the word disconnect because that would be completely inappropriate, but
no.
I've been trying to not eat maybe for 30 minutes in a day. I'll just have my speaker on and I'll just be listening to some music instead of watching YouTube. So I'm still using my laptop. I've just got a different. Then it means I'm not wearing my headphones all the time at least.
Yeah.
But I was looking at some of the track times on my phone, and it was like some of them were only 2.5 minutes to just under 3 minutes. So when your assignment you mentioned was 3.5 minutes, that sounded a bit long to me, especially for a student musician.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's fairly standard for a sort of for like a pop song. I mean, let me have a look on my Spotify real quick.
What was the genre that you made your track in?
I sort of did like a kind of singer-songwriter folky sort of, inspired by like sort of Bob Dylan.
Okay, had you just watched that movie recently?
I hadn't. I did love that movie though.
I still haven't seen it. I'm not big into musician biopics.
Fair enough.
I watched Bohemian Rhapsody. It sucked. Yeah. I did very much like Rocket Man.
I
the
still haven't seen that actually.
really
I've been meaning to see
that's the good. In my opinion, that's the good one.
Okay.
The one film that I would heavily recommend that you should never watch though,
Here we go.
it's called Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. Have you heard of this one?
I haven't, no.
So, it was directed by a guy who's normally like a comedy director, right?
Yeah.
It stars John C. Reilly. Are you familiar with him?
I'm not.
Have you seen Step Brothers?
Yes. I
He's
have.
the other guy in Step Brothers. He's
Okay.
not Will Ferrell.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
the other
got
person.
It, got you. Oh, he's kind of funny.
He also actually used to be a very seriously taken actor.
Oh, really?
He was in the film Magnolia, which is famous. He was in Gangs of New York alongside Leonardo DiCaprio and what's that one? Daniel Day-Lewis, right? So he used to be a seriously. I say used to be, but like no, comedy is still also good. I prefer comedies, but anyway.
Yeah.
Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, is a 2007. I'm just reading the Wikipedia description. Musical comedy film. It's a John C. Reilly plays a guy. Plays a musician with the stage name Dewey Cox, and the whole film is a parody of the typical musician biopic.
I see. That's kind of funny, but it wasn't good.
Oh, it's very good.
I see.
It's actively too good. So it came out in 2007, which is which is 3 years after. Have you heard of Ray?
I haven't. No.
It's the one.
No.
It's the one with
Ray.
what's that guy? It's about Ray Charles, but who's that?
Oh.
It stars Jamie Foxx, right? Jamie Foxx,
sick.
who's actually good in it. And it came out after in 2005 had Walk the Line, which is the Johnny Cash one.
Yeah.
So, in the Dewey Cox, literally, it is simultaneously a parody, but also it's the perfect deconstruction of the genre. Like, they do, at no point in the film do they, like, a couple times they'll make jokes and they'll have, like, moments where it's like, haha, obviously that would have never happened in real life. But most of it is genuinely, they hit every single beat that the normal biopic hits. And they genuinely do it in such a simultaneously sincere but also sarcastic way.
That's good. That is good.
To the point where the guys who made the biopic, the guy who because I know Bohemian Rhapsody had multiple directors, because one of them got fired. But the guy who made Bohemian Rhapsody, and who later went on to do Rocket Man,
Yeah.
and also the dude who made the Elvis movie, which sucked.
I still haven't seen that either.
All of those guys spoke about how they didn't want to make their film for a long time because of Walk Hard, and how good, because they felt it ruined. So basically, if you watch Walk Hard, you'll see every beat, and you'll be like, and if you've seen the other films before, you'll be like, you'll just have those scenes playing in your head. You're like, oh my god, they fooled me.
Yeah.
But if you watch them afterwards, then you just think like, Dewey Cox did that. So yeah, if you want to ever, except for Rocket Man, because Rocket Man is a bit different and it's actually good.
Yeah.
If you want to continue to enjoy musician biopics, did you watch Bohemian Rhapsody?
I did.
What did you think?
I thought it was alright. I didn't think too much of it. I thought it was kind of fun. Nothing. I didn't really take it too seriously.
But if you want to continue watching musician biopics and be able to take them seriously, don't watch Walk Hard.
I am intrigued now though, and I am probably going to watch it, but hopefully it doesn't change my perspective too much.
Yeah, but I mean, are you what sort of? I hate when you like have a question in your mind,
and then it goes,
and then it's just completely gone. I'm now distracted by looking around the studio and the fact that for some reason there's a psychedelic. It's not a lava lamp. It's some weird flashing light stuff. It feels like I'm walking through a weird electronic store in like the back end of a shopping mall in Hong Kong, where you've had to walk past a bunch of, let's just say, unsavory materials to get there.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I'm not sure what's going on. It's like we're in a rave.
Yeah, but do you I think I was going to ask about DJ. So do you make much of your own pre-recorded stuff to release, or are you just doing live DJing?
No, well, when I, what do you mean by that? Like,
In your free time, other than that one song that you made for,
oh no, yeah, I'm making loads of tracks, loads of dance tracks from scratch, like building, like making the drums, making the synths, doing all of that. I've got like a massive like folder full of tracks, which
and do you ever release those?
I have got some out on Spotify, under the alias FJV.
FJ, I think I've seen that
You
somewhere on
will have, I
Instagram.
probably plugged it too much. But yeah, FJV music on Spotify, guys.
Music.
Check me out.
FJV underscore music
That's
underscore.
the one. That's the one.
I'm familiar with that technique where you have to do the second underscore afterwards.
It's good technique though, isn't it?
It is brutal. When I was making the Instagram account for this show,
Yeah.
also for some, I don't know why, but when I clicked on FJV music from Google,
Yeah.
I don't know why half of the, because I'm using the studio computer here.
Yeah.
I don't know why half of the what do you like the website, what do you call that, the bar,
The URL.
yeah, half the URL, I really should have fucking known that.
No,
I don't know why half of that is in Chinese and why there's an emoji. I didn't know you could. I didn't know you had. Yeah, I'm looking at it's instagram.com/FJV music, and then there's just a lot of Chinese characters
I'm not sure why that's there.
and an emoji and a bunch of other stuff. And look, sometimes when I'm on my laptop, especially when I'm back home in Hong Kong, you know, I'll Google stuff and Chinese results come up, you know, because
Yeah.
I live in effectively China. But this is not my computer. This is a British computer on a British Wi-Fi network. I don't know what Wi-Fi
Yeah.
network. I should know. It's on. I clicked the Wi-Fi thing and it just says network.
Oh, that's good.
So
We know.
yeah, clearly it's
know.
great. But you know, is this you on Amazon Music?
I think I'm on Amazon Music. I mean, when I distribute stuff, I mean,
And
I've started doing it through SoundCloud, where you can
And
sort of,
Bandcamp.
yeah, SoundCloud is where there's more stuff. Spotify, I've got 3 songs out. 2 I released in the past couple months, and they're alright. But the first song I released has kind of sort of become a little, not really a joke, but like I'm sort of getting rinsed for it now, like by my mates. It's sort of like,
What about this song
I just get sung.
called Heart Don't Need?
Yeah, I get genuinely sung the lyrics. Just sometimes people will just whip it out, and it will just. Oh. But it's funny, and I've been tempted to delete it, but I'm told it's heritage for me now, so I'm not.
What is the track not good?
No, I mean, well, I think it's alright. It needs a new mix because there's some harsh frequencies in the bass, and anyway, I'll shut up. I don't want to get too technical, but
no, please get technical. That's the point.
yeah, well, essentially there's a problem with the bass where 2 waveforms are clashing, and it meant that
What's a waveform?
a waveform is well, essentially like the purest you can go down to a sound. Like you can have a saw wave or a sine wave. I'm sure you've heard of sine wave before. It's kind of
It's a type of yeah. I did an unfortunate amount of maths in high school, so I'm aware.
So you can, when you combine 2 different waves together, you get cancellation. So I had 2 different waves, 2 different oscillators, I should say, which is the same thing. And I had randomization on, which meant that each wave comes in randomly at a different time. So that meant that the cancellation would be different every time. And I didn't even realize this was a thing until after I released it, and now it's out. And the bass just sort of, when you play it on a certain device, like a phone speaker or something like that, or smart speaker, like the bass just doesn't come through enough, and it's very annoying.
So is there a lot of, so when you're thinking about that, about the wave stuff,
Yeah.
are you thinking about that as a maths thing, or is that like are you analyzing that from a mathematical perspective, or are you just straight up like the vibe is wrong, and you happen to have to know why the reason?
Yeah, I mean, I happen to know why the reason, but I mean, I did physics A level, which also you do a lot of wave stuff in that, and it all kind of makes sense. And even in music tech, like we did a little bit of stuff on, because you kind of need to know what you open up an oscillator, which is this big synth thing with got all these knobs, and you can see the waveforms and blah blah blah. There's all these things you can adjust. You kind of need to know what you're adjusting.
Yeah.
In order to get the right sound. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, like the frequency or
yeah, exactly.
Whichever one. It's been a while since I did physics.
Amplitude.
Amplitude, yes,
amplitude.
that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
There's a reason my high school physics teacher didn't like me very much.
No, well, I mean you're right though. That's exactly what it is. Like you do need to know what these things do. Otherwise, you can move the knob around.
Otherwise, you'll find yourself just doing the same nonsense for 30 minutes until you finally get the right thing.
Exactly.
Every single time.
You can't really just do it by ear. You have to know what you're adjusting. Right? Because some changes are so minute, you won't even be able to hear it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So then this stuff that you've released, is that a lot more in that sort of dance music genre?
Yes, it's in sort of the one of them is kind of house, the other two are more of a UK garage. And to specify what these genres are, house is kind of just a slower tempo around 120 to 130 BPM, but you can get house faster than that. And then garage is like very distinct style of like swung drums compared to the house, which is like you've got like more of a swung style like hi-hat pattern in UK garage, and sometimes you get like syncopated kicks as well.
What's a syncopated kick?
So usually you got like 4/4 kick is just like on the beat, like, and then with a syncopated, it's not on the beat. You can have it swung like, it's what I mean. It doesn't.
Okay.
It's different.
And then you mentioned jungle earlier. What's that? Because I've heard that one has a very distinct identity.
Yeah, it does, and there's a bit of controversy about it, like being a subgenre of drum and bass or not. I don't think it is personally. But essentially it all revolves around break culture, which is like these kind of sampled people started sampling soul drum breaks in the 90s, and sort of
soul, like the
genre soul. Well, I don't know if it's mainly soul and jazz, and
we're talking like Aretha Franklin stuff.
I mean, possibly. I don't know what exactly the
artists are called.
Well, yeah, and also, yeah, I mean, specifically what they sampled, but it was sort of, so they would take these snippets of drums, and then they'd put them into a sampler and then speed them up to like 160, 170 BPM, which is very fast, and it is the sort of tempo of drum and bass, even though jungle is different. And then kind of, yeah, output effects on these kind of drums, and there's lots of combination with reggae as well. Lots of reggae artists have done similar stuff with jungle, but yeah, that's kind of with jungle it all revolves around this kind of break core.
What's your take on sampling? Because I've heard, normally I know that it's considered sort of a fact of the matter that we're in the digital age, and you can do these things, but I have seen more and more people lately talk about how they don't really have the same amount of respect for artists who sample as artists who don't. What's your take on that?
It's a tricky subject. Everyone's kind of got their own opinion on it, especially we talk about it a lot in the course, but me personally, I think there is definitely an art to it. It's just how you sample.
I mean, there's a hell of a difference between some of the stuff that Daft Punk do, where they chop up an entire song to the point where it's unrecognizable, versus.
I mean, that is an art.
And I hate the fact that this is the first thing that comes to my mind, but P Diddy in
Here we go.
I know that there's he sampled The Police, so
yeah.
When I'm searching in Google, when I'm typing in Google P Diddy The Police, let's just say the results are not necessarily exclusively about the song. But for his song "I'll Be Missing You," he sampled "Every Breath You Take" without
changing anything,
without permission.
Oh, I see.
It's sort of like the backing track of him singing, and I've never listened to it. I've only ever listened to one song of his, which is the song "Diddy." Just called Diddy.
Oh,
when you listen to it, it's obviously at the time it's like, it's a normal like hip hop, his sort of theme song. But when you listen to it now, it sounds like a walk up song for a bad guy in a video game. But for the song he sampled the Police's hit "Every Breath You Take" for his 1997 song "I'll Be Missing You," without prior permission, resulting in a lucrative publishing deal for Sting. Reports indicate that Diddy paid Sting roughly $2,000 to $5,000 daily,
Wow.
which is crazy.
I see. I mean, I think that's the kind of sampling which I can't really get behind. If you're gonna do something new with a song,
Like, look at
then
Kanye,
fine. Yeah, I mean that's exactly what you should be doing. Like
genius.
bringing soul stuff and reinventing it in a way. But I mean, this does kind of bring me on to the newer sort of thing, which is I don't know if you've heard of Splice.
What is that? Is that a type of
Essentially,
sampling?
Yeah, well, it's it is sampling. It's also kind of not, but I think it is. It's sort of so you have this online library where people upload sounds that they've made, and you can just drag them and drop them into your project. So let's say I wanted a guitar loop. I'll search up guitar loop. There'll be a snip, like a 10-second guitar loop, and I can just drag it in. So what you can do is you can just use these loops to make a song, and just drag them in and put something over the top and then something over the top, which essentially just completely gets, well, depending on how much you use it, gets rid of the art of making music.
But wouldn't that even figuring out that you can combine certain things together isn't that still?
It is slightly, but it's not anywhere near as creative as making a song from scratch. You know what I mean? Like, there's quite a famous thing. Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso is two loops from Splice. So someone went onto Splice and found the guitar riff and the drums and dragged them into a playlist, and it is just a song. So
and do those people from Splice get any credit or any payment?
I think they get payment from Splice because you have to subscribe to get Splice. So when you upload stuff and it gets downloaded, then you make a little bit of money.
Do you have to be subscribed to upload stuff?
I don't know. I've not tried uploading stuff, but I assume so. But what is just a shame is that these people who have uploaded it, they've just sacked off the rights to that pattern. So now Sabrina Carpenter's producer's taken it, and they don't have to pay the people who uploaded it on Splice anything. So
And she's making a hell of a lot of money off of it.
making a lot.
And now she's on the fucking Muppets TV show.
Yeah, I did see that. Was she Miss Piggy or something?
No. There's they released a new special because they're basically every 10 year. Basically, pop culture is dead, and we've been nothing new ever happens. But recently, basically every 10 years, or actually no, nowadays it's every 15 years, the Muppets get rebooted.
Yeah.
Now, in 2000, the 2011 Muppets movie is fantastic, by the way.
Yeah.
That makes my top 10 films of all time. Great movie. It was a specific passion project from the guy, Jason Segel, who was in How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
And then he was in the film Forgetting Sarah Marshall. And basically, in How I Met Your Mother, there's a few jokes. He makes a few jokes about the Muppets. And then in the film Forgetting Sarah Marshall, his character makes a puppet musical. And in order to make that scene for the film, he had to work with the original company who made the Muppets, the Jim Henson Company, which is now a subsidiary of Disney. Basically, they do puppetry. And he had to work with them, which got conversations going because he was a fan of the Muppets, and so they made a movie about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, they made a sequel 3 years later, which wasn't as good, but it was still good, but it wasn't profitable enough for Disney to keep it going.
Yeah.
So since 2014, the franchise has been largely dead until now. In 2026, they released a television special produced by Joe Rogan. No, not Joe Rogan. Seth Rogen.
Oh yeah.
Very different to Joe Rogan, but still in that sort of vibe. Anyway, not the type of person I would normally expect to be involved with the Muppets. And then they had Sabrina Carpenter as their main guest, which sort of seems a little bit.
I see.
It's like, like I know that the original Muppet Show had people like Johnny Cash on, who are hardly family friendly.
Yeah.
But when Sabrina Carpenter normally they would sort of become PG for it. But with Sabrina Carpenter's appearance, it didn't seem like that, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things. What's your take on Sabrina Carpenter? Do you like her music at all?
I do think her music's good. I don't listen to it personally. It's difficult to know. I find that with a lot of mainstream music now, it's difficult to know who the talent is. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
That's my worry. Whereas with smaller artists, indie artists, and especially with my sort of music, which is dance, you know that they're doing it themselves. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
it's a one-man band.
It's a one-man band, and everyone's got their own distinct sounds. But when you go to the charts,
yeah,
for me, it's like there's
especially with a lot of the samples.
Yeah.
Depending on the artist, though. Like if it's a Kanye sample, you know, like some of the stuff that guy's done.
Yeah, I mean some of the. Yeah.
Well, no, some of the stuff he's done in the recording studio, not necessarily some of the press conferences he's done.
We got to tread lightly on that, haven't we?
Yeah, truth. But I hear he's making a comeback.
Yeah, I've heard that he's going to do a tour.
Isn't he already doing a tour? He did a show in Mexico recently.
Oh, I'm not sure. I heard that he might be coming to
the UK.
The UK. Well, there's always rumours. I don't know.
But then every time it's like people try and boycott the arena until they agree to stop.
Yeah.
Apparently, he could be doing a residency at the O2 Arena.
Oh yeah. Because my mate Aaron, who I did the shows in Birmingham with, he is very, very keen. He's massive Kanye fan.
His music or his politics?
It's his music.
Thankfully.
Yeah. So he'll be going on to that. But yeah, to answer your question, I do. That's one thing with the charts and like modern music. You don't really know who's putting the work in. Like with artists like Sabrina Carpenter, who else? Alex Vaughan is a big one for me.
I've not heard of him. Who's that?
He's kind of this guy that's rose to fame off TikTok. Everyone loves him, and I get he's a lovely bloke, but I don't know how much of it he's doing himself. And then even Taylor Swift nowadays. I mean, it's a lot of the charts is just done by a guy called Jack Antonoff, who's a big producer.
Well, what's your take on that? Having these sort of mega producers.
I mean, as long as they're getting paid. You know what I mean? Like, I get I think it ruined the art a little bit. It's like you've got a face for a producer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, it is what it is. I still like a lot of what's getting put out. There's also kind of a thing about like industry plants as well, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, it is what it is, really. Everyone can listen to what they want. That's it, really.
So, we are approaching the hour mark, so wrapping up. What would you like to say to the people? And what to summarize, what's your ambition here? Either at Sussex, in your life in general, with the North South Collective. What's your main goal? Is it to blow up and act like you don't know nobody?
Of course it is. That's my number one goal. But no, I think is the main goal is just to, with North South, it's to grow, and I want to put on. There's so many ideas I have for events. I'm hopefully going to do something with Jazz Society at some point in the near future. And I mean, that's the thing. Bringing all these people together, it's great. That's my ambition. And putting on bigger events, maybe earning some money from it would be good. And then with music, just keep putting stuff out. I love hearing like feedback. I mean, even if like events company in Brighton who do DJ events, so I've joined their team recently, which is quite exciting. So big up to them. But yeah, that's it really.
That's northsouth.collective.
Northsouth.collective and afters.btn. They're my two groups. But yeah.
So yeah. Thank you for
having
coming
me
on.
on the show.
It's been a pleasure and good luck.
Thank you, I appreciate that.